All right, today we're building the ultimate productivity playbook. It's all about how you can master deep, focused work in a world that feels like it's literally engineered to distract us at every single turn. Okay, let's get into it.
So let me ask you something. Does this sound familiar? You've been running around all day, answering emails, hopping on calls, putting out fires. And then at the end of it all, you just kind of look back and wonder, what did I actually accomplish today? It's that classic feeling of motion without progress. And believe me, it is incredibly common. And really, this gets to the heart of the problem, doesn't it? Our tools, our apps, our 24/7 connectivity, all of this stuff was sold to us as a way to work faster and smarter. But instead, for so many of us, it's just become this endless fire hose of notifications, pings, and interruptions that completely shatters our ability to just sit down and concentrate. So to fix this, we first need to understand the two very different kinds of work we do every day. And this isn't just about being busy, it's about a fundamental battle that's happening for the quality of your attention. On one side, you have what's called shallow work. Now, this is the stuff that makes you feel productive. It's easy, it's logistical, it's things you can do while you're multitasking. But on the other side, you have deep work. This is the hard stuff. This is the work that requires your full, uninterrupted focus. It pushes your brain, and it's where you create real value and, frankly, where you find real satisfaction. It's the kind of work that truly makes you better at what you do. Now, the science behind why this matters is actually fascinating. Constantly switching between those little shallow tasks creates something called a high cognitive load. The best analogy? It's like having way too many tabs open in your brain's browser. Everything slows down, your performance drops, and you end up feeling completely drained without getting much done. So the battle against shallow work is really a battle to reduce this mental load. So how do we fight back? Well, we need a strategy. This isn't about working harder. It's about deciding, with real intention, what actually deserves our focus. And that starts with building a clear game plan. Our first tool is the Eisenhower matrix. It's a simple but incredibly powerful way to sort every single task on your plate. You just categorize everything based on two questions. Is it urgent? And is it important? This gives you four really clear quadrants. Things you have to do now, things you need to schedule for later, things you can delegate, and, maybe the most important, things you should just eliminate. This quote from Eisenhower just perfectly captures the whole philosophy here. Think about it. Our most valuable work, strategic planning, building new skills, deep thinking, it almost always falls into that important but not urgent quadrant. But the tyranny of the urgent keeps us stuck in firefighting mode. The goal is to spend as much time as possible living in quadrant 2. So how do we make sure that important quadrant 2 work actually happens? The answer is time blocking. Instead of just throwing it on a to-do list where it can get ignored, you give it a home directly on your calendar. You schedule a 2-hour block for right strategic plan, just like you would any other meeting, and then you have to protect that time ruthlessly. Okay, so you've got a strategy, and you've blocked out the time. Now for the really crucial part, execution. How do you maintain that focus within those protected blocks and effectively manage the tasks you need to hand off? This is where the Pomodoro technique comes in. It's such a great little method for focus. You work in intense 25-minute sprints, followed by a short break. This simple rhythm does two brilliant things. One, it makes it way easier to start a huge task. I mean, who can't work for just 25 minutes, right? And two, those mandatory breaks prevent burnout, keeping your energy high over a much longer work session. So here's the best way to think of it. Time blocking is your game plan. That's what decides what you'll work on and when. The Pomodoro technique, that's your in-the-moment tactic that helps you maintain peak performance. They're not competing ideas, they actually work together perfectly. And what about those delegate tasks from our matrix? Well, effective delegation is a skill in itself. It's not just about passing off work. It's all about clarity. You have to clearly define the outcome you want, choose the right person, communicate your expectations perfectly, and then give them the support they need to actually succeed. Okay, let's start putting all of these different pieces together. We're moving from looking at individual tools to assembling a cohesive personal system that can help you thrive, whether you're in a busy office or working from home. And this is a really key principle. There is no one-size-fits-all solution. The Eisenhower matrix, time blocking, Pomodoro, these are all just tools in a toolkit. The real goal is for you to experiment and build a flexible system that fits your specific work, your personality, and your goals. But here's the combination that seems to work wonders for most people. First, you time block your day to protect that precious time for deep work. Then, during that 2-hour deep work block, you use the Pomodoro technique to structure your focus. This gives you that high-level planning of time blocking with the amazing in-the-moment focus of Pomodoro. It really is the best of both worlds. But you might be wondering, does creating this kind of focused environment actually work? Well, the data says a resounding yes. A really well-known Stanford study on remote work found that just giving employees a quieter, more focused environment, the very thing these techniques help create, led to a 13% increase in productivity. That's a huge, measurable impact. And this data breaks it down even further. Remote workers, who often have way more control over interruptions, reported a massive 77% increase in their own productivity. They effectively gain back almost a day and a half of work time every single month. This isn't just a feeling, it's a quantifiable result of being able to do focused work. So, we'll end with a challenge for you, because knowledge is great, but action is what really matters. So, looking at your own schedule, what is one shallow task, one of those urgent but not important things that you can eliminate, delegate, or just reduce this week to carve out just one block of time for true deep work? Your productivity playbook starts right now.